Okay, guys, so we're gonna be maintaining control of the back, and it's like when we did with standing, we're gonna have to follow him to do that, okay? So I'm gonna just practice first following with seatbelt and hooks, okay? So seatbelt, we're gonna be here, right? Under his arm and over his shoulder, and we're hugging in, just like we were talking about from standing. I'm not as worried about the elbows from here, right? Because we're on the ground, but I do want to connect with my head on his back, okay? So here, this is good. My hooks, they need to have connection too. If you're here and aren't connected and he starts moving, it's gonna be hard to follow him if my head's up like this, okay? So get in my back. Good connection, fold. Yes, see that your spinal posture changed when you did that, right? Go back to your head up. Now the shape of your spine is different. It's more like that. And I want it to be like we talk about, like when you cover up with a blanket, it kind of folds over your body like that. So I want your back to have that kind of blanket sort of posture, okay? Now, I'm gonna roll this way, belly down, and then back belly up. And I want you to maintain it. Connect, connect. And I want you to maintain this, but I don't want you to there's also disconnection sometimes, right? So kind of, you don't want to hold too hard. You don't want to hold not enough and lose the control. All right, I'm going to go here. Good. Let's go side to side. Good. Connect. Side to side. Good. Nice. Okay, now. Yes. Okay, that's it. Now, do that again. Don't connect with your head. All right? It doesn't feel it good. Okay? This will help you too. Connect. See, when I go to sit up, connect. It's like you're kind of keeping some connection all the time, but you know, it's like I'm using one more than the other to kind of help as I transition to my belly. Okay? Now, there probably didn't feel as good as when you had this. Okay? So that's kind of the moral, is you need to keep the head connected, because there, like, I didn't feel your hooks as much when we turned belly down. I didn't feel your seat belt as much. Okay, go again. So fold that head like you had at the beginning. And think about this. Your seat belt pulls your chest into me, in your face, and it pulls me into you. It's not one or the other, it's both. You're pulling me into you, and you're pulling you into me. Pull all me into you. Okay, now that's not good. Pull all you into me. Does that make sense? Like, really, yes. Now, find the middle of that. A little of this, a little of that. Yes. Yes. That feels pretty good. Okay? Nice. Okay, now, that's the following. Okay? So, in order to, let me get you back here. So what I want you to do here is we're going to follow, and then we're going to come back to the seated position. I want you to give a rear naked choke here. Okay? Now, recap class 4 for what we were talking about with rear naked choke, but when you come in here, we don't want to turn our chest back this way. We don't want to come out here. We're coming in, and our head is pushing into our arm a little bit, right? This needs to come in here, right? So that kind of tightens everything. And then I also need to put my elbows down into your shoulder and shrug up a little bit. And that really wasn't like super hard, but it's all of that going on at once, and you just don't have to squeeze that hard, okay? So what I want you to do, Micah, is I want you to follow me with hooks and a seatbelt. I don't want you to even get fancy with it at all. I want you to get here, and when we finish here, I'm going to do a full 360 that way, come back this way. We're going to be here, and what I want you to do is you're going to take your bottom arm out and come in. Take your bottom arm out and come in. So here's the thing. Grab my top arm, and don't let me choke you. Pull it. Right? People defend that top arm when we seatbelt them. So don't have an assumption that, you know, even an untrained person will know, like, oh man, they're trying to choke my neck. And I say the way to get out of it is to open your chest up. Now it's not here. So some things to think about, okay? So I want you to, you're gonna come out with this one and then choke me after I go side to side, okay? So good connection, we'll go 360 this way. Good, 360 back. Seated, underarm comes out, and okay, yeah, I'm good. And go ahead and finish. Not bad. So, get it again. Okay, and just get it locked, but don't squeeze it up. Feel the head chopping, or the hand chopping behind the head. Okay, so this, it goes forward, but it's more your face that pushes it a little bit, and it's so, okay? This arm is gonna go in like this. It needs to compress this way a little bit. Okay, so your face is pushing the one that's in the back forward. This one's coming here and closing, it's kind of driving me in. Connect your elbows down into my shoulders and shrug your shoulders up. See, barely any squeeze, and that sucked, right? It did. It's like when I was doing it to you and you really sink all those details in, it's just like effortless, okay? So go here, all right? So before you even lock it up, so remember, it's a little bit of this, all right? A little bit of that. What helps that is by going in here. What helps this too is by pushing my head down into it with your face, okay? And then elbows down, shoulders up. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Fantastic. Okay. The only other thing we need to do today is the remount. Okay. So last class we learned the back escape, right? And this is such a fundamental way to escape back. I love it. It's simple. When we were doing the private Hickson a while back, that's the one he busted out. You know, and it's just like one I'm kind of working with for a while anyway, and it's such a beautiful. Remember, it's the one where you bridge. I'm like telling you which way to go. Yeah. So go bridge off that foot. Yes, good. Come back. So when people do that, what you got to do is obtain mount. Okay. This is when we saw the escape, we taught it in the context of we are preventing mount, okay? This is the context of, well, he's getting out, right? And we can't prevent, him from getting out unless we come to mount, right? So it's kind of like we teach it, hey, don't let him mount you, and here, that's what I've got to do. So if I'm coming here and he goes there, what I'm gonna do is cross my feet, okay? Now, this, you can do one of two things. I can grab this hand or wrist with the sleeve grip or the wrist grip, okay, or the head. The hand is a little better, but if he doesn't have a sleeve, it can be a little harder, okay? This thwarts his escape. Then too, look how I'm looking at the camera. I've got to turn belly down to put him in mount. I've got to look up to add pressure. When I look up, it's going to make me very heavy here. We saw last class that he can stop this leg with this arm if he does his job, right? So that's again why it can be good to grip, is it's kind of thwarting his frames a little bit, even though he's framing with that. And here is taking his body out of alignment. Okay, so we teach both here and here. Sometimes when we sweep, this is a little better. Sometimes when we're going from the back, because we had a seatbelt, this is a little better. Here, right? So you feel me, Mike? You see I'm kind of pinching there, but watch what happens when I look up. A little more pressure. And when they try to escape on that, it's like it spring loads what I'm doing to come up to mount, okay? Put me in this way. Okay, so I'm going to start with no seatbelt. Come across on this side so we can go towards the camera. Yes, so I'm coming here, grab my head. See, it's already there. All right, cross your feet. Here, there you go. feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna get that in there. Look up. Yeah, now I ain't gonna get that in there, right? Like I have my elbow on your hip bone. Just keep looking up and keep coming forward with that hip bone. Yes, terrible, that's terrible. All right, for me, good job for you. Now, stay here. This is good mount. Go ahead and put me in low mount. All right, there. Yes, feet together, knees wide. That way. Oh, good. This is class 2. We saw low mount, right? And we've worked on how to retain it. Okay, so I want you to do this again. You've got the mechanics. Transition to low mount when you remount. Okay, so come in front that side. Yes, cross your feet. Look up. Yes, good. Low mount. Hips. Yes. Good. Knees a little wider. Feet together. Good. Now, if I push your hips back, can I get that blanket posture? Oh, that's so good. Don't do that. Do the blanket posture. Light in your hands. Oh, yes. Right? Good job. So we've got to be able to remount. Okay? So, look, these are our first 3 classes on the back control. Okay? So we saw classes 1, 2, and 3 were essentially mount, escapes and attacks, and holding and getting there and takedowns to get there. And then 4, 5, and 6 back control. All right? 7, 8, and 9, we're beginning to guard, guillotines. All right? 10, 11, and 12, side control. And then we go back through that same sort of positional cycle again. Okay? So it's just those kind of 4 positions, and we bring in other things, like with this back control, we saw many positions. Okay? And I'm saying all that, so like on down the road, we'll have 3 more classes on back control, right? And we've also been filming review classes for you guys. So look for review class number 2, okay? And this will be over these back control classes that we've been working on, okay?